Well, many of us have been there. You know, you're walking around the house, you're in a little bit of pain, you feel like you might have done something to your back. Well, thankfully, there are some ways to help out that situation. Here with us this morning is the head trainer of the District Athletic Club, personal training, Derek Marcet, to show us some simple movements to strengthen the area. And it's interesting, Derek, because I heard you talking to Kent about this, and you mentioned glute medius, is that what it is?
Yeah, the medial glute.
Medial glute, yeah. And that's exactly what my issue is right now. After the Boston Marathon, I was having a very hard time coming back from that. So I am currently in some physical therapy, getting some work on that, and I'm learning a lot about it. But I think it's something that a lot of people don't know about, how your core stability is so important.
Which is really unfortunate because it's such a common issue that plagues so many people, not just runners, you know, people who work out in the gym regularly every day. You know, it's a common reference, at least in my gym. It's, you know, squats don't just do it anymore. It's not just about that anymore. And when you do one thing consistently, you end up hitting muscles very specifically. You know, maybe you're running a lot, maybe you're squatting a lot, maybe you're hitting your hamstrings only. And you end up omitting, you know, a whole bunch of different small muscles in your hips and your glutes. Specifically with the medial glute, it's such an athletic muscle that it creates a stability for your pelvis, and it goes all the way down to your knees. And so what ends up happening is you create this knee valgus situation, you throw off the biomechanics of how you're moving, and over time it can start to cause some serious pain into the lumbar, into the knees, it can go down to the feet, it can go all the way up to your neck.
Yeah, and from my personal experience with this, that was what was happening. Coming back after the marathon, I never felt right. I was running, it just didn't feel like very smooth at all, and it all comes from these sort of little muscles, not the big part of your glute, right? This is a smaller part of your glute. This
very small, up into the hip, really like high glute.
Yeah, and you said it can go up into your back as far as problems, because those muscles compensate. And in my case, it went down into my legs and even some plantar fasciitis. So, all right, how do we deal with this? How do we improve it?
So there's really like there's a bunch of different ways we can do it. But as far as what we have today, we brought in some mini bands. And so it's a really nice, easy, there we go. So we brought in some mini bands to kind of talk about a few exercises that you can do at your house, you know, if you're feeling like, you know, something's just different, something's wrong, and the hips are a little unstable. So the first one is a very, very simple one, and it's just getting into a nice low squat position, keeping your chest up really, really high. And all we're going to do is just laterally walk, keeping tension on the band. You can just take a couple steps, and then you come back the other way, making sure to get the same side. So what you're doing is you're keeping tension, and you're just making sure that the hip stabilizes all the way through the knee, all the way back up to the top. So very, very simple movement. Sticking with that little mini band you have there, you want to go through all the ranges of natural gait, okay? So we're a three-dimensional, we're working all the way around the body. So we don't want to just go laterally, we want to get down, and we're going to want to go forward as well. And we're going to try to mimic almost like a skater position. Absolutely.
Okay, so these are all things that I've kind of been doing here. And it's interesting because when you do them, these exercises do such a great job of isolating that muscle, which, you know, in my case, the analogy I use is it's kind of falling asleep. It's like my brain has forgot that that's an important part of a lot of physical activity.
Absolutely. The term you're discussing right now is neuromuscular efficiency, and it's when you don't utilize a part of your body consistently, you inherently stop sending messages. You stop really receiving neurons effectively to communicate that message that, hey, we need to work the stabilization of these hips. We need to make sure that we stay healthy. Otherwise, it starts to grind on the joints, and it can cause some serious problems.
All right. Anything else? Are we doing anything else?
Yeah, we can go one more.
One more.
So
why not?
Actually, let's bring that right up to the top of the knees. Let's bring it all the way up. And so let's just get into a nice athletic sumo squat position. So we're going to get the feet just about shoulder width. You're going to turn the toes out slightly. And what I want you to do is just continuing to press the band away from you, so outward. You're just going to sit down and back, keeping the chest up the entire time, keeping your weight into your heels here with the chest way up. Good, there you go. And then come right back up. But don't lock the knee at the top. Good, and we're just going to repeat that, you know, 10, 15 times. What it's going to do is just continue to stabilize all the aspects of this small muscle in the glute. And what it does is it just really, really starts to fire it up. This is something you would do pre-exercise or maybe when you woke up in the morning, and it would really make sure that you were doing everything properly. It was fired up, ready to go, and there was a very low risk of injury.
All right, Derek Marcet, head trainer at the District Athletic Club. Thanks for joining us this morning with these great tips to help
Absolutely.
people
Always a pleasure, Fred.
get their butt in gear.
Yeah,
right?
seriously.
So we took care of. All right, for more information on this, you can always visit our website, WTNH.com. We'll be right back after a quick break.